Let me get that up here. Okay, I'm going to have someone else do the roll call, and then I'll take the rest of the meeting.
Okay,
I'll do it.
sounds good.
Keith Becker,
Here.
Stephanie Birdwell,
I'm here.
James Martinez,
Here.
Rachel Simaconda, present. And let's see, who are we missing?
Sarah, and she's just logging on now.
Okay, and Sarah.
All right. So welcome, everybody. I'm so thrilled to be back here. It's good to see everybody, and thank you for joining us. Okay. So item number 3 on our agenda, the recommended protocol for members and other participants. All commissioners should have their microphones on mute to keep the background noise out of the chat room. The chair of the meeting should ensure that everyone has an opportunity to speak if they would like to do so. Commissioners should use the chat function to inform the chair that they would like to make a statement, and the chair will announce the commissioners to speak in the order in which they appear in the chat. Okay, and we move down to item number 4 on the agenda, public participation. Do we have any public participation at this time? Okay, not seeing any public participation. So we move down to item number 5, information items from Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living members. Who has informational items that they would like to share?
Keith,
I
go
do.
ahead.
I just want to mention that we have Picking in the Pines coming up September 15, 16, and 17 out at the Pepsi Amphitheater. And I want everybody to know that it is a very ADA-friendly event. It's also a family-friendly event. So anybody who would like to come on out, it's a great event. It's probably one of Flagstaff's best, and I invite you all out.
Fantastic, Keith. Thank you for telling us about that. And that's September 15th through the 17th, correct?
Affirmative.
Fantastic. You know, I've never been to that event. I need to go.
Yes, and it is wheelchair friendly as well. I've worked really hard with the folks that put that on, and they have a couple of nice flat concrete areas that are high enough up that you can look down onto the stage, and you're down there, you're underneath the covering, so you're protected a fair amount from the sun and rain. And it's a great event, and it's very ADA friendly.
Nice. Okay, expect to see me. I plan to go this year.
I look forward to it.
Do we have any other informational items from commission
Martin
members?
has his hand up, Jamie.
And Martin, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Martinez. I'm not a member of the commission, but I do have some information. The accessibility improvements at Buffalo Park are this close to being done. They include new accessible parking spaces, new concrete area around the entryway to make it more accessible, and a new aggregate loop trail around the main part of Buffalo Park that's about 2 miles in length. 6 new exercise stations that are universal design. And the last piece is there's a sign with information specific to the accessible loop that we're waiting to have fabricated that will be installed near the entryway. And I think they also put mile marker signs around the perimeter of the park. So that work is wrapping up. I think we'll have some sort of a ribbon cutting or an event for which CIAL will be invited sometime in the near future. So stay tuned.
That would
And
be
of course,
fun.
I know a few years have passed, but this commission was instrumental really in initiating that project and getting the grant going for it.
That would be fantastic. Include me in the ceremony, Martin. It's been about, what would you say, 8 years now that this, I would say
Yes.
around that. 8 years that this project came to fruition, and so really excited to see some completion.
Yes, Mr. Chair, time flies, but what is time when you're having fun?
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the high points of my life is serving on this commission. So thank you,
Oh.
Martin, for that great update.
Thank you.
And
Who
we have
is,
Sarah Dormant has her hand up.
okay, and Miss Sarah, you have the floor. Welcome.
Hello, I just wanted to let you guys know, since we have also talked about it as a committee about the Be Safe training with police officers and families with children and people with disabilities. And it's to teach how to interact with the police and have that go on. That's going to happen on September 23rd at 11 a.m. And I believe it is at the Sawmill police station. So that's really exciting for Flagstaff.
Fantastic. And Sarah, what day of the week is that?
That is, I believe, a Saturday. So it's
Okay.
Saturday, September 23rd, 11 a.m. to 1:30.
Do you have any information, like a flyer that you could send to Alan or Lisa, and then they could disperse to commission members?
Yes, I can send the link via email.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And do we have any other informational items from commission members? This is a lot of great information, folks. Okay, moving down to item number 6 on the agenda. We have staff participation. Lisa, you are up.
Good afternoon, everyone. My participation today was just to let you know the City Council will be back in session on August 28th. And I believe that Stacy gave us an update in terms of commission members and getting them reestablished for those who sent in applications for this commission. And that is all the information that I have today. Rachel.
Thank you so much.
Are we specifically on the agenda for the first city council meeting?
That is a good question. Stacy, are you still with us? I'll find out for sure, Rachel,
Okay.
and I will let you know.
Okay, because it was said by Mayor Daggett in the last city council before break that this commission would be addressed at the next meeting.
Okay.
So, and I see Mayor Daggett, you're here.
So I'm about to go check the agenda. I believe that we received a packet of several commissions to appoint. So I'm going to go and confirm that, and I'll get back to you by the end of the meeting.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa and Mayor Daggett, definitely. Next, we have an update from Mitch Reddy from Mountain Line.
Thanks, Jamie. Can you guys hear me all right?
You're coming through loud and clear.
Thanks. I guess my main update is next week, so the end of this month, I will actually be leaving Mountain Line. And for the time being, until we fill the position of Associate Transit Planner, Estella will be the liaison for Mountain Line. So that was our main update. Thank you.
So Mitch, it's pretty exciting where you're heading. Do you want to share where you're going?
Yeah, so I'm actually in like the Chandler Gilbert area. I'm starting an aviation program to get my commercial pilot's license.
That is super exciting. So
Thanks, JB.
thank you for the time that you've devoted to this commission. We truly appreciate your time and your efforts.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the time that I've spent here. So thanks.
Okay. And next we have Michelle Eisenberg for an update. Is Michelle in the house?
Yes, sorry, I'm here. I was trying to unmute and turn the camera on.
Hi,
Hey,
Michelle.
everybody. Thanks for having me on today, Mr. Chairman. Update for the Northern Arizona Community of Practice is that we have not yet started meeting for this season. It does appear that I'm going to be the chair again at this point. So we do have our first meeting of the school year next Tuesday. For people that might not know, that we talk about the transition from school to work for our high school individuals with disabilities and different things like that. So we often provide guest speakers about different topics. So if anybody would like to present to that group or anything like that, go ahead and let me know. And then I had a question. I missed the date for the council meeting that's coming up. Can someone remind me?
It's August 28th, next Tuesday.
Okay. And then I did just put in my application today also.
Fantastic, Michelle. Thank you for putting in your application and thank you for the great update.
Thank
And
you.
I see that Rachel has her hand up.
Hi, Michelle. I know that you and I had spoken a couple of months ago about possibly somebody coming in and talking to parents about Social Security and the transition into adulthood. I have just started receiving materials from Social Security, so I will probably be ready to talk to parents in maybe a month or two.
Oh, okay. That would be great, Rachel. Thank you. I'll put that on my list here.
Okay. And then, the other thing, and this is the heart of why I do what I do with disability awareness, but self-advocacy is something that I have a passion for. So I can also do that if you'd like.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. We actually do Pojoni, and I'm not sure if other providers do, but we do have some classes and stuff on self-advocacy too. But I think it would be really good for the people that meet for the community of practice to also understand what that means,
Okay. So you can include me in any of that because that's the heart of what I do.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Definitely.
And I am not seeing that Mr. Russ is here for an update as our youth liaison. So our next agenda item is agenda item number 7, the approval of the minutes from the meeting that took place on May 24th, 2023. It's been a while since May 24th. So if you need to review those minutes, please do so. And then we would like to ask for a motion to approve.
I'll pass a motion to approve.
Thank you, Rachel.
I looked them over. I didn't see anything. I will second that motion.
And thank you, Keith. All of those in favor of approval of the minutes as written from May 24th, 2023, signify by saying yay.
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 All of those in opposition of approval of the minutes from May 24th, 2023, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the yeas have it, and the minutes are approved as written from May 24th, 2023. Next on the agenda, we have the date of the next meeting scheduled for September 27th, 2023. So be aware of that, put that on your calendar, and we will see you on September 27th, 2023. Moving down to our action items, we have an update from library ramp update from Jeremy DeGator, project manager, senior lead, city engineering from the city of Flagstaff. Jeremy, if you're here, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Let's see if I can share this. All right. Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners. My name is Jeremy DeGator. I am a Capital Improvements Project Manager here at the City of Flagstaff. It's my pleasure to kind of share with you that this will be my final update on the library entrance project. As many of you are probably aware, the library was able to reopen its front entrance back at the end of July, which was a massive win for all of us. I do want to thank this commission for all of your work that went into this project over the years that we spent in design. They were truly instrumental in what this project looks like today. If you haven't had a chance to visit the library, I would strongly recommend that you get over there, check it out. It really, I think, captures a lot of the ideals of the inclusive universal design principles that we were operating with. And it's a true jewel and an asset for the city moving forward. There will be some more information coming out here at some point later in probably early September, but there is a grand opening / ribbon cutting ceremony that's currently scheduled for Friday, September 29th. I think right now the time is target is 10 to 11 a.m. We'll certainly share more information on that when that becomes public knowledge. But please mark your calendars. We would love to have you there for that ceremony. The project, while it does look complete, we're still in kind of the final, what we call closeouts, kind of punch list. So there's some minor items that we're still working through with the contractor to finalize and get everything finished up. I am happy to report that at this point we have worked with the Department of Education, who had managed the original ADA compliance complaint against the library. We've worked through that process and we have actually finalized that and are now have been able to certify that we are now ADA compliant for the library entrance. So that was the primary goal of this project, and that has been closed out. So we're very thankful that we've reached that point. As I mentioned, we'd love to see you at that ribbon cutting. We look forward to this entrance, I guess, maturing. Obviously, all the plants, all the steel, a lot of the features are going to mature over the next 1 to 3 years. And I think when some time has passed, it will truly be even more beautiful than it is today. So with that, I would again encourage all of you to get out there. Check it out. We would love to get your feedback, both for this project, what worked and what didn't, and what we can do on future projects that have these considerations. So with that, thank you, Chair and Vice Chair. I turn it back to you.
I would just like to say thanks, a heartfelt thanks to you, Jeremy, for involving this commission and asking our input with regard to what is the best universal design for this project, because we want everybody to benefit from the universal access that this presents, and the project looks beautiful. So thank you.
Rachel has her hand up, Jamie.
And Miss Rachel, you have the floor.
Jeremy and Jana, I am a wheelchair user full-time, and I have used the new library and everything. And I wish there was a way I could give you a virtual hug, because if you can take this library and you can transplant it to every city in the United States, we would be 1,000 miles ahead of where we need to be with ADA stuff. You guys have done an absolutely exceptional job. And as someone who is struggling right now with the strength to get up ramps, you guys have knocked it out of the park.
Absolutely, I completely agree. As a additional wheelchair user, I am so excited about the accessibility that this presents for everyone. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank
And
you all.
We will be there on September 29th. I will make sure of it.
Fantastic. Yes, this commission had a large voice in that process. The project team, there were many people on that team that did a fantastic job to hear, listen, and really work to implement this. So this is why we did it. I'm absolutely thrilled to hear that. So thank you.
And Jana, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. It's been like Jeremy, I'm just so pleased. We love the collaboration. We remember early on going over with the artists to NAU to see some of that universal inclusive design, and then also making the art kind of follow along with these gentle sloping sidewalks to enhance the experience. So we, from Maria Salinger, who's the artist, on the Touch Home Reach Sky, that's the name of the art feature. We were thrilled.
Fantastic, and it looks beautiful. Okay, any other questions for Jana or insights for Jana or Jeremy?
I just want to say that Mayor Daggett asked Rachel if she could speak at the city council during the public participation of the beginning, and just write down what she just said, or write a letter to city council, and Rachel has agreed. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you for representing us and representing us well, Rachel. We appreciate you.
I love being on this commission, and this is exactly why. I'm proud to say I am a citizen of the city of Flagstaff today.
Both born and raised here, Rachel and I, so we're both proud to be a part of this community.
And it's amazing to see how far we've come from 1975 to 2023. It's amazing.
Amen to that. And we have so much more to go, and we are going to reach those accolades above and beyond what we expect. Okay, so next on our agenda, we have sidewalk encroachment and presentation by Rachel Simiconda and other commission members. And so I do believe that presentation was sent to Mr. Allen.
And I just shared my screen. Can you guys see it?
Oh yes, it's nice and big, and thank you.
Rachel, whenever you're ready.
All right, so this is going to be several of us that are presenting.
Okay.
Because several of us had the opportunity to give input and put this presentation together. So here we go. Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living, Sidewalk and Encroachment Problems. And if you could advance the slide, Lisa, and thank you. All right. And Miss Rachel, I do believe you have the floor here.
Okay, here we go. Bulk trash impeding sidewalk flow. Bulk pickup comes every 5 weeks. The city of Flagstaff has advised citizens not to block sidewalks, yet it continues. This was placed out on the curb on an impeding the sidewalk for 2 to 3 weeks. And there's some more. And in this one, we wanted to take note of the fact that the bed is impeding every bit of the sidewalk flow, and the chair is actually kind of impeding the bike lane. This one, I don't know if we ever figured this out, but there's an appliance out there, and those trash cans have been sitting in that position. Keith, you'll have to correct me, but I believe that they've been sitting out there for the same 2 to 3 weeks. They are not moved back off of the street like they're supposed to be.
It wasn't so much the trash cans, it's the actual trash that got put out about a day after the bulk trash was picked up, and then it sat out there until the next time. And also, we should note that this is in a school zone, so the kids are having to walk out in the street.
All right. This mailbox leaves less than 3 feet clearance for continuous passage as required by ADA law. This mailbox has been here, we think, for 6 to 7 years like this. And the 3 feet of clearance is necessary for any wheelchair. And neither Jamie nor I could get through this right where this mailbox is at. Parking on side. Oh, Keith, this is you.
Okay, so parking on sidewalks. A person shall not stop, stand, or park a vehicle on a sidewalk. We're not trying to just point out this location because this happens at other places. There's a lot of places around town I've seen where customers are stopping at a business and they either don't have enough room to park or whatever, and they end up parking on a sidewalk. These people are also blocking the bike lane as well. Business supplies taking up setback. That's what I was basically just talking about. Patrons of this business may be able to park in the safety zone, thereby leaving the sidewalk as a safety passage. You know, again, there's a lot of stuff that's actually in the parking space in front, so even a small vehicle can't park properly here. And again, not just to point these people out, it's to point out the issue. And this is an issue around town I've seen in many places.
All right, this one is one of mine. ADA disabled parking spots. ADA requires one accessible spot for every 25 spots in a parking area. There are 2 spots in front of the store, yet neither is clearly defined and so is improperly used. Proper signage and pavement markings need to be placed in order to comply with ADA law. 2010 ADA standards for accessible design, sections 208 and 502 parking spaces. Jamie, this is you.
So here we have sandbags that are impeding the path of travel on a sidewalk. Flood mitigation is essential in Flagstaff. However, blocking a sidewalk inhibits differently abled citizens from accessing a clear path of safety. And here's just another picture to illustrate the impediment to the path of travel.
Jamie, I'd also like to point out in this picture at the tip of where those bags end, that's a cutaway ramp, a curb ramp.
Yes.
And so if there was somebody in a wheelchair that needed to go off the sidewalk on either side of these sandbags, they couldn't do it.
There would be absolutely no access whatsoever. And here is another picture just to illustrate our point further about the lack of access.
Something to note in this one is the pallet that the city dropped off is right there on the sidewalk. You can still see what's left of the pallet and where they placed it. So this is an educational thing. You know, it's great the city dropped off this stuff. It's great they put out the pallets, but they could have actually put it elsewhere. That's all I have.
Even the curb ramp is blocked in this picture. So again, we have another access issue with the curb ramp being blocked.
ADA parking and hash marked sections. Hash marked areas are not meant to be parked in, but to allow extra space for people getting into and out of handicapped accessible spots. A wheelchair bound person would be stuck in this scenario. Even another disabled plaque does not give someone the right to circumvent the law. So I think that we need a little bit of clarification, and I know Chief Musselman could not be here, but we need some clarification about what enforcement issues are in this situation. I specifically have been told that the police department will not enforce this particular violation. So I'm interested to hear some feedback from enforcement people.
Okay, this vehicle obviously is blocking the sidewalk. It's also blocking whatever kind of ramp that is. That's probably a driveway ramp or something. It would be difficult for any wheelchair to get around this. They would have to go way back past that car, or if they're coming the other direction, way back behind the picture taker and get out into the street, and they wouldn't even be able to get back on the sidewalk here. They'd still have to go past that vehicle. So the entirety of the sidewalk is covered. This truck, its rear hitch, it's kind of hard to see, but it is sticking way out. The shadows are kind of hard to see this one a little bit, but the back of the truck is over the sidewalk. It's a little bitty sidewalk too. That one's only maybe 2.5 to 3 feet, if it's 3 feet. And then you've got the curb ramp right there. If a wheelchair was to go around this, they'd be having to put wheels down on that curb ramp, and the front wheels on a wheelchair want to follow it because, you know, that's where they are. So this truck's rear hitch is significant to a visually impaired disabled person as well. They can use their cane to feel the bottom of the hitch, but would run straight into the ball hitch. Wheelchair users would need to go into the oncoming traffic, as I said, to get around this. So a lot of times, a person with a cane might be swinging their cane to the left, and it might actually just go around this without them really feeling it. And as they swing it to the right, it's beyond the hitch already, and then they just run into it with their ankles. Next slide. This one, again, and you know, we've shown a lot of things from certain areas. This is from a different area, so it's not just one particular area. It's all over the city. This one here happens to be downtown, and this is a vehicle that's parked in their little parking space, but their parking space is not big enough even for this tiny little vehicle. So they are parked partway out onto blocking the sidewalk, and you might be able to get around this on the driveway ramp, but probably not because of the foliage and stuff on that side. Plus, if you look to the right side of this sidewalk, all that foliage is coming out, and it's kind of making it a bit more difficult for a person in a wheelchair. Next slide. Again, this is the same area as the other one we had. You can see the vehicle is obviously blocking, the truck is, even the car is. Now, look at the way they are. This is not just a problem with the residents. This is a problem with the owner of the apartments, because their parking spaces obviously are not big enough even for a smaller car, and certainly not a pickup truck. And so this is a code issue. This may be grandfathered into the code, but sorry, that's my weather alert system going off here telling me we have some weather issues. Anyway, hopefully y'all can hear me. Anybody that's coming along this here sidewalk would go down that sidewalk ramp right there. They'd be out in the street, and then that vehicle that's parked out in the street, they'd have to go around that vehicle. And even if they got past that vehicle or partway, somebody turning onto this street that's going away from the viewer might hit that person just coming around the corner really quick. So anyway, next slide.
Wait,
Michelle has a
before we-
question.
Thanks, Lisa.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you. I had a couple of questions now. My first question is, on these parking spots that are too small, because I'm looking at this picture right here, that's obviously part of the structure. What kind of suggestions are we saying, or are we just looking for suggestions on how that can be rectified?
So my understanding is that because of the age of these buildings, some of them are grandfathered in, and there's not a lot that we can do for the landowner to make improvements. It's something that the city needs to, and again, I think it's an enforcement issue, because the sidewalks are the mandatory at least 3 feet. I believe that this is a high volume sidewalk, so it may be wider than that, but this is something that the city enforcement has to take care of. I don't think it's something that the landlords can take care of.
Okay, I see. And then that brought me to my other question. When we talk about grandfathered in, what year does that go back to, or what is that? I mean, I know what it means, but
ADA standards started in 2010. So I don't know if the grandfather, and this may be something that the city attorney will answer, but I believe that 2010 is when it would be grandfathered, I'm assuming, unless the city has specifically has a different year.
okay, thank you.
And I think these are like those were old barracks or old something. They had an old army thing somewhere in the Sunnyside area. So I think those are old. I think they're really old. If they're not barracks, they date back many years. The thing is, ADA requires the sidewalk to be available from both sides, and this is definitely a violation of ADA code as far as the way these vehicles are parked. What can be done about this? That's a whole nother story, because this is a very difficult situation right here. Go ahead with the next slide.
Absolutely. And next, I'm up with snow removal. This snow was plowed right onto the sidewalk by a city snow plow. And we can see where it's directly affecting the path of travel. Nobody would safely be able to get past this.
And this was also a property owner that there's apartments here. Property owner also plowed the snow on the sidewalk. And this picture actually happened to be taken about 3 weeks after our last big snowstorm. And it started on the late December snowstorm we had. That's when it started, and it was there 3 weeks afterwards.
So next slide. Okay, where do we go from here? Accessibility is vital to our aging and disabled population. Working together, City of Flagstaff departments can tackle this issue. Police officers can give a pamphlet and a warning for a first offense, a monetary violation for a second offense. Environmental services can leave a sticker on trash cans violating city code for clear sidewalk and a note to water bills. Code compliance can ensure laws are followed and educate violators. Pamphlets are a great first step. Now let's chat. What can this commission do to help to ensure top-notch accessibility?
And I want to apologize. We do have a more updated version of this PowerPoint. I will get it sent to Lisa and Alan. There is a more updated version with a bit more information and a few more pictures. So I'll make sure that that gets sent today.
And I see that Keith has his hand up.
Yes, I would just like to make a comment as a commissioner and as a citizen. I truly believe that if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I would like to invite all city staff to join us by becoming involved with brainstorming obstruction solutions and producing educational information for Flagstaff citizens and for city employees. I believe education is going to be a good first step. So I don't want to just give all these issues without solutions, and we mentioned a few there. Possible solutions that I'm going to mention real quick: reporting. Police can report. Environmental, the people picking up the trash and stuff can report. City employees, but we need to make reporting easy for citizens. Then, of course, we need contact and enforcement. We need a database for dispatchers and city employees to check previous reports for contact or reports and contact, so that maybe they can take the next step going beyond just informational. Again, we mentioned the informational pamphlets and door hangers containing city codes, website links, maybe QR code, and warnings for citations, or what might happen if you continue obstructing sidewalks. Maybe bright orange warning stickers for the police and the city code, that not just with the pamphlets and door hangers, they could actually put on a window of a vehicle, similar to what they do with parking violations. But just a warning one. And they can do that if they don't actually have contact with people. And it also should contain maybe a list of what the city codes are, maybe a website link and a QR code, something along those lines, warnings for citations. Another thing would be an additional bright yellow warning or orange or whatever color you want to make it, sticker with the city code, website links, again, QR codes, for city trash and recycle drivers to be able to put those on trash cans and things like that, and bulk trash when they see it. And the last thing, again, education, police, environmental, city employees, and of course, Flagstaff residents. And that's just my last little bit. I want to give a little bit of solutions, and I also want to say, again, you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I want to be part of the solution. So I'll be the first one in line. Thank you.
I completely agree with you, Keith. We have to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And a big way to do that is to work together. Cooperation and collaboration, definitely. That's where it's at. So I implore all of you, if you see a violation in an area where you live or around town, let us know about it so we can begin to address these issues as they come up. This is a project that is going to carry us through a multitude of years, but if we tackle a little bit at a time, it can be done. Michelle, I see that you have your hand up.
Yes, I have some questions and a couple of comments. My first question is, so earlier in the meeting, I heard them say that we're going to be on the agenda for the city council meeting on the 28th, I believe it was. Is that just for the appointment of the commissioners, or are you guys are we planning on presenting the same presentation to the city council at some point?
I'm hoping that I know I can, but I'm hoping that we can present this possibly to city council if Mayor Daggett is okay with it. It would be the updated version of this, but I'm hoping that if it's okay to put it on the agenda, that we would present it at the meeting next Monday.
Okay, thank you. And then you did also mention, Rachel, about having the Chief Musselman here. Is that going to be the plan, to try to get him to our next meeting to kind of help maybe address some of these?
Yeah, he was supposed to be here, but because we've had to miss 2 meetings, he could not attend this meeting. But I've asked Alan and Lisa to make sure that he's invited to the next meeting, because as a step forward with this, if city council likes this, then our working group would like to move forward with a proposed pamphlet to help with the enforcement issues and possibly the stickers.
Yeah, that was my next comment, was about wondering who was going to be handling designing the pamphlets and that kind of stuff, or if we had somebody that was going to be doing that. And then as far as like the stickers go, I'm not something just to throw out there, maybe when Chief Musselman is here, but those stickers, like they put them on your car, like if you're parked like in the, because you know they have that parking ordinance in the winter where you can't park out in the street. And I know I've seen those stickers on there, so I don't understand why it would be a stretch to put those stickers on when there's another type of violation. Like, it's no different, in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
That's actually a really great idea, Michelle.
Okay,
And-
you guys, we need to move it along. We have another presenter that has a hard stop at 10.
Hold on
and-
just a second. Sorry, but I've had a comment for a little bit.
Oh, go ahead. Michelle.
Okay.
All right, thanks. So I looked at the appointments, and we don't have the appointments for this commission coming up. So I've asked Stacy whether we can. Here's the issue: when we don't have enough applicants, staff doesn't forward the applications to council to make appointments, because we want to have more applicants. But whoever was on the email previously recalled that I asked staff to go ahead and let's appoint without having more applicants. So I've sent another email to Stacy asking her whether we can do that. As for this presentation, this was originally what my comment was going to be, is that I want to have this presentation made to the city council. And the agenda is already set for Monday, and I think that we need to, I'd like to see it more as an action item where we have some ideas for the city council to consider and give direction to staff on. So I would love to meet, if any of you want to meet in a smaller group to talk about what kinds of things that we can propose when the presentation is made. And I will make sure that we get the presentation on the agenda as quickly as possible. It's excellent, and it so illustrates what I've been trying to communicate to people. So I love it, and thank you for all the work that went into it.
Thank you,
Mayor
Daggett.
Daggett.
Thank you
We
so
have-
much. And I just want to say, Mayor Daggett, I would like to be included in that group. So
Jamie, my thought is that we have the Zoom meeting every Friday
right.
at 5:00. And so, Mayor Daggett, if you're available, we meet every other Friday at 5 p.m. via Zoom. That's what this working group is working towards. And so I'm inviting you to come to that meeting. And then possibly, because it's a working group, we can come up with ideas and brainstorm and stuff. And then the working group will make sure that we have the presentation ready for when it's put on the city council agenda, and we can get some ideas from you.
I love that. I'm not
Perfect.
available this Friday or the next Friday, but I can, if you'll let me know when the next one after that will be, I'll get it on my calendar.
I will send you an email after this meeting with the dates so that you'll know.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
And
we
we
have
as
a
the-
question from Michelle.
Oh, no, sorry, that was left up from before. I'm good.
Okay, we
Okay.
have another
you-
presenter, but she
Hold on,
needs
Lisa.
to leave
Hold
it.
on, Lisa. Hold on.
Do you
Heath
you
needs
see-
to say something.
Yes, I just want to say real quick, and I think it's an answer to Michelle. As far as the pamphlets, flyers, or stickers, I want us, the commission, and anybody else, any other citizen who wants to join us, to work with the city on what should be on that. I think this is a city thing, and I think the city should have a big say in it.
Thank you,
That's
Keith.
all.
Thank you, Keith. Okay, you guys, we have another presenter that needs to leave at 1. So, Jamie, I'm going to leave it up to you as to whether or not you want her to do her presentation now, or if we need to move it to another time slot.
How much time will you need? Because I don't want to cut your presentation short.
Chair Martinez, I sent the slides for my presentation in advance. I could do a quick 5-minute update. I won't have time to go through the full presentation because I would need about 15 minutes and I only have about 7.
I'm going to present it to you. How do you feel? I would like to see the full presentation.
Then I would be happy to come back next month.
Okay. I don't want you by any means to feel rushed.
That's fine.
So can we get you placed on the agenda for next month? I believe that's September 27th.
Yes, that is correct. And we can, if it's okay with you, Sarah, we can move you to next month's meeting.
That'll be fine. Thank you all. It was an interesting discussion to listen to.
Thank you, Sarah, and I apologize.
No
and
problem.
For the person that asked me about the meeting, and this is Lisa, staff liaison, I'm sorry, I said Tuesday and it is on a Monday, on the 28th. My apologies. I just wanted to correct that. Okay, Jamie, you have the floor. We can move.
All right, so the next action item that we have is Keith Becker, discussion on extended meeting, extending this meeting from one hour to either an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Thank you, Jamie. Yes, you know, I've noticed at some other meetings that there are work sessions. And at the work session, obviously, you know, the commission can't really vote on anything, but we can go through some of these informative things that we keep missing each time from other people, just like we just missed one. We could go through those things and we could talk about them and discuss them. Of course, we can't vote on anything because there's no voting type items. But I would like to see us put in an hour of time before our regular meeting, whether we do that at 11, if that works with members, or whether we do it at 12 and then we do our regular meeting at 1. I would like to see that happen because we always fall short and we don't have enough time to kind of discuss things and even get some input from, you know, from citizens as well. I think a meeting's too short for all the stuff we have to do. And I'd really love to see it, you know, and I work, you know, and I will put in vacation time if I have to give myself an extra hour to do this. So, you know, I want to know from commission members what they think, whether they want to go a total hour before, and whether we move our meeting, you know, to 1 o'clock and we start at noon, or if we start at 11 and then go, you know, to 1. So I'm going to open it up to the members.
I would be fine with starting at 11 and going until 1. Do we have
Anybody else?
Michelle
Oh,
has
go ahead,
her
Michelle.
hand up. No, I was just letting him know that Michelle.
Sorry,
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
I hit
Sarah.
the wrong button.
So, okay.
Meeting, I was going to say meeting for more than 1 hour is difficult for me because this is during my lunch hour of sorts. And during my work day. So would it be that part of it would be optional as part of a work group and part of it would be the more official meeting?
So that's what we're looking at, is 1 hour would be for the work group and then 1 hour for the official meeting.
And we
Sarah,
really
I see
don't
optional versus.
we really don't have to hold the work group on the same day. We
No.
could do a different Wednesday at noon. for the work group, and then we come back the next week or whatever, and we have our regular session. It's wide open.
That would, I was gonna say that would be easier for my schedule to accommodate. Like having one work group session on one week, or every other, or having an additional work group, at a certain point during the month on a Wednesday, same time would work better for my schedule. But again, that's just me. So you guys, obviously I'm just one person here.
That's pretty much the way city council does it. And
Do we have other feedback from other commission members?
I'm okay with doing like the third Wednesday as the work group and then the fourth Wednesday as the regular commission meeting.
That would be fine with me. That way it's split up.
I'm
Can we
okay with
pass-
that as well. Yes.
Jamie, can we pass a motion to vote on that today?
We have to have that officially on the agenda for a vote. So if we can get a motion to have this placed on next month's agenda, let's do that.
I'm passing that motion.
Okay. So all of those in favor to have the City Commission on Inclusion and Adaptive Living work group on the third Wednesday of every month from noon to 1. And then the actual meeting on the fourth Wednesday of every month from noon to 1, signify by saying yay.
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 All of those opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no opposition, we have now determined that the work group for this commission will be on the third Wednesday of every month from noon to 1, and the monthly meeting will be on the fourth Wednesday of every month from noon to 1.
And of course, the city will have to post this because we will have a quorum at times. So the city will have to post that for the public to be involved.
Okay, so we're gonna move this to next month's agenda, correct? That's what the motion was for?
That's correct.
Okay, great.
Yes. And folks, my apologies. I am in the middle of training a class, so I have to depart the meeting right at this moment. So Lisa, can we table the rest of the meeting for the next agenda?
Yes, sir.
Do we still have quorum if Jamie leaves?
Uh,
I believe we do. We've got Sarah, we've got Stephanie, me, and Keith.
yeah,
So that's quorum. Jamie,
Okay.
is it okay if we keep going?
Can I just ask that you update me, please?
I definitely will. I'll send you an email.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
I will, thanks, Jamie. I will have to leave here in about 5 minutes. So I don't know if that would change these or to change the plan to keep going.
Lisa, I don't have the agenda in front of me, but how much more do we need to get done today?
we have our reports and discussion items, and there's several things up underneath there that we need to address. A discussion on letter to the council on the following items. And then there's 3 items up underneath that, and then we have another item to discuss. So I would say table it to the next meeting because other people have meetings to go to this afternoon.
Okay. And then would you make sure also that that we have the ongoing discussion for our working group
Yep,
on next month's
Will do.
agenda?
will do.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for a terrific meeting. It's good to be back. We will see you next month. September 27th is the date. Well, September 27th.
Yep, that's correct. Thank you, Jamie.
Hasta luego, mis amigos.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
great day.
Everybody.
Great day.
Goodbye. See you later.